There's a new name and new plan for America's oldest LGBT advocacy organization. Millions of change agents will mobilize in what's designed to be an unprecedented grassroots effort. Joining us from the National LGBTQ Task Force, Executive Director Ray Carey and Deputy Executive Director Darlene Nipper. Good morning.
Good morning.
So why did you change your name?
Well, we are changing our name
Yes.
to the National LGBTQ Task Force with the tagline, Be You. Because even though we have made significant progress, particularly in marriage equality, we know we have a long way to go and we've got to engage a lot of people to get the job done. There's a real hunger on the part of LGBTQ people to be fully themselves in every area of their lives. And that is where we start.
As an organization, you're upping your game. So how are you doing that?
Well, we're working to ensure that people all over the country have the supports and skills and resources that they need to make change in their own communities. I mean, as Ray said, we are really trying to break down the barriers that still exist. And there are many barriers that continue to exist for LGBTQ people.
Take me beyond marriage equality. What are your goals?
Well, the irony of this week in some ways is that while we are looking at up to 35 states soon where same-sex couples will be able to get married, in 32 states, you can be fired from your job simply because of who you are or who you love. So you could show up at work after your wedding and put a picture on your desk and be fired. That's not that kind of country we want. And we know it's not the kind of country a lot of people want. People want to be able to put in a good day's work, be who they are, go home to their family and enjoy life just like everybody else. We also know that there are other issues that simply aren't attended to by marriage. There are young people who live in fear every day going to school, that they might be bullied, and others who are not free to be fully who they are.
I'm curious about what you've seen. Both of you have been advocates for many years, doing work nationally. Within the last 5 or 10 years, what have you noticed in terms of progress, and where is your hope moving forward?
Well, we've noticed a tremendous amount of change in the last 5 or 10 years because there have been years of work to ensure that LGBTQ people experience full equality and freedom. And look, there are still barriers, and we want folks to know that they can go to thetaskforce.org and actually find out the different ways that they can be involved. We still have transgender people, especially transgender women of color, for example, being murdered in their communities. So there is tremendous work, and it's very important work. There are hearts and minds that we still need to change in this country, and the National LGBTQ Task Force is here, and we're ready to do it.
We say an unprecedented grassroots movement. And you're serious about this, right? That's what you call them, agents of change online. How effective do you think you can be?
Well, we are effective and have been effective for over 40 years because there are so many change agents across the country who want to come together and make progress in their own communities. There are a variety of issues that affect our community, and we've talked about them at our website, thetaskforce.org. But we also know that when people come together and tell their stories and talk about how their lives are affected, hearts change. And that's how we're making progress in this country.
It's so true, Ray. Thank you, Darlene. We appreciate your time as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mike?